Domain and range inequalities, part 2. This time we have to write a compound inequality to represent each of the domain and range. This one's a little bit different because we have a start and a stop point for our function. So again, I'm going to use pink for our x for our domain, and we're going to take a look. We have -2 and a +3. If we were to stand at this point and look down our function, all of our x values are getting greater from this point. It's colored in, so -2 is included, but all of our x values are getting greater than -2. So I could write x is greater than or equal to -2 from this point of view if I was standing here. Now, if I was standing down here and looking up our function, all of my x values going upwards to this -2 are all getting smaller. So my x values are less than or equal to 3 because it's included. So I have two different inequalities that I have to make fit in here. So that's where it gets challenging. I like to put my numbers in order from least to greatest always when I'm writing compound inequalities. You can go least to greatest or greatest to least. So I know -2 is my least and 3 is my greatest. So if I come over here, I see that this inequality I can make match right here. So I can use the less than or equal to right here. So x is less than or equal to 3. Fits perfectly right there. Well, now I need to make this match. Well, I can flip this around. I can write -2 and x, well, instead of greater than or equal to, I can write less than or equal to. Well, now we have our compound inequality. So -2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3. That is the inequality that matches here. And again, I'm going to use green for y. My y's are 4.5 and 0.75. If I was standing here and looking down, all of my y values are getting smaller. So I could say y is less than or equal to 4.5. I can say equal because it's colored in, and all of them are less than. If I was standing down here and I'm looking upwards, all of my y values are getting bigger. They are greater than 0.75. So y is greater than or equal to 0.75 if I was standing at the bottom of my function looking up. Again, I like to go least to greatest. Again, you could go greatest to least, it doesn't matter. But since I like least to greatest, I'm going to try to make my inequalities match. So I see this one that matches this section of my inequality. So I'm going to use my less than or equal so that I make that match. I can rewrite this from y is greater than or equal to 0.75 to 0.75 is less than or equal to y. So now I have this to match this portion, and I can use my less than or equal to symbol. So 0.75 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 4.5. So these are my domain and range inequalities that match my function over here.